Good afternoon, evening, everybody. Welcome to vlog 13, I think. I think this is number 13. Been another week, so I'm trying to get to as much as I can. Yeah, this week we are talking about Unite 23 is going on, and although I've made the decision to switch away from Unity, it's still interesting to see what they're doing, and it looks like they're trying to win back the community and get back some trust. We'll see how that actually works out for them and whether they are whether they're able to get that back. So we can quickly run through some of the highlights from the keynote. I don't know, I haven't watched the keynote yet, so maybe at some point I'll make a bit of a video or something and actually talk about where Unity is and where I think it's going, and see where we end up. So yeah, Unite 2023 was on. I think it's still going, and started on Wednesday, I suspect. And I think the first big news item or big announcement is that they've decided to go back to a version numbering scheme from the year number scheme. So mixed feelings about that. When I started with Unity, I think it was Unity 5 or so, and then shortly thereafter they switched over to the 2018-2019 versioning schema, and so I really started working on Unity from around 2018-2019, so didn't get too much exposure to Unity 5, and so I don't think I've really got any skin in that game. I suppose it is a little bit weird that they announced 4 or 5 versions in between, and so they probably should be on, Unity 11 or something. But maybe they decided to go with 6 just so that they could be, one higher than Unreal. Who knows? Again, I'm not sure that it really makes all that much difference. I think it plays somewhat into the runtime fee conversation, and there's still a lot of conversation about the runtime fee. I think we can pretty much put that conversation to bed. It's basically a 2.5% royalty unless you have very specific scenarios where it makes sense to stick to a runtime fee, but I think in almost all cases it's a 2.5% royalty, or capped at a 2.5% royalty. So you can pretty much choose which one works for you, and that's still cheaper than Unreal. So yeah, I think pretty much it's a silly way to try and manage a royalty fee and not not have a royalty fee but actually have a royalty fee. But that's the route that they went. So we'll see how that works out for them. Um, they've announced a very interesting, very good looking demo. I mean, I must admit the demo does look good. It's built with URP. And I think, as per many comments around this topic, it's also would be great if Unity does, to an extent, standardize onto a single runtime and stick with either URP or HDRP, whichever one makes sense. Or if you could maybe run URP and step up the quality to HDRP somehow with the texturing differences. And it's all based on the same underlying scriptable render pipeline, so it should be possible for those two pipelines to converge at some point. I know that HDRP is aimed at high-end desktop and console devices, and URP is more cross-platform, some mid-tier machines and high mobile, and etc. etc. So, and then there are, of course, still people using the built-in render pipeline, which I think is being deprecated, and Unity would love to get away from that. Okay. Talking about multiplayer and a lot of improvements and additional things in the multiplayer space. This using 2022 LTS, so I'm guessing the code for entities. And at the time when sort of the whole runtime fee debacle happened, I would probably have started taking a look again at entities and how that may be of value to projects that I was working on. I decided obviously not to stick with Unity, so that whole conversation is moot. I may have spoken about this before. I really like the concept of how the entities are constructed. I think it's conceptually unlike the way that it works. I think it provides some very interesting ways of work and very interesting mechanics. So I do quite like that. But it's it is challenging to get into. It's quite a steep learning curve to switch from game objects into entities and figure out what's going on there. Again, there's an interesting demo that's being made for netcode for entities. So the old 2018 Megacity demo that they did to showcase entities way back when, they've updated that and they've updated the visuals on that. They're putting in a multiplayer cross-play, cross-platform play implementation using netcode for entities and their multiplayer hosting. So I think that's the next thing probably to look at, is that they are now talking about Unity Cloud, and that is their old cloud services. I think UCS or something it was called previously, which includes their DevOps pipelines, build agents, the Unity Asset Manager, which I'm not 100% sure what that is, unless it's part and parcel of the Asset Manager tooling, or if you can actually upload your custom assets into the Asset Manager and have a centralized art pipeline workflow that's in the cloud. Team admin, editor integrations, and improved dashboards. I was quite a fan of Unity Cloud Services. I used it quite extensively for a build pipeline, and again, it's a great thing to have, that you don't have to set up your own custom build pipelines. Although Unreal has a scriptable pipeline, and I will, when I get around to finishing my build pipeline for Unreal, I'll maybe do a bit of a video and run through that. I have done some work on that and I have made some progress. I've managed to sort of get the command line build to work in Windows and on a Mac PC. Right now my Linux build is failing, so I haven't looked at why my Linux build is failing. But I haven't also been able to get a clean command line build where it actually builds properly and the outputs are good. I have seen some mention in my research into this process of signing signatures, and so there's a number of issues that'll still come up with custom build pipelines. But the idea, I think, is it's nice to be able to build your own custom pipelines. However, with the Unity Cloud Services, it was fantastic to just plug it into my DevOps boards, and when I did a push into whatever branch I was interested in, pipeline would trigger. And then I had some webhooks firing off of that, and so I had webhooks that would send an email to the test group to say, hey, there's a new build of the game available, and that was pretty cool and pretty neat. And now I've got to do most of that by hand and manually. So yeah, swings and roundabouts, I guess. Then onto Unity's AI offering, and I was in the beta program for Muse and Centus, and yeah, again, didn't do as much with it as I probably would have liked, and also, kind of lost interest with it when I moved away from Unity. So that seems to be a theme, and so they Muse provides quite a few services. Apologies for scratching my eyes. Um, that helps you find documentation. I found that sometimes it wasn't 100% accurate, the bit that I did use it, or it could also be that it's itself confused because the documentation is conflicting. So you have a chat implementation where you can ask it questions and can help you build some sample or boilerplate code. Then there's a sprite interface that will allow you to create 2D sprites and texture materials, I guess, to texture assets that you can use in your games. And they are now also looking at new offerings, which they're terming behavior animated sketch. And you can create behavior trees, animation pipelines, or animation states and state machines. And Sketch will actually allow you to collaboratively build environments and assets that you can pull into your Unity environment. So certainly there's some interesting moves happening in Unity from an AI perspective. And the early demos that I saw of Muse creating scenes and 3D models and all the rest of it were very interesting, very exciting, very impressive. So certainly worth taking a look at if you're not averse to AI. I think again it could make prototyping a lot faster, and when you want to then start getting some custom and handmade assets, then at least you have a prototype that you can say, this is kind of where my thinking is. And certainly that's where I'm using AI image generation tools, just to help me visualize some of the things that I'm thinking, because I can't draw for love nor money, so I'll certainly not stake my life on my ability to draw. Centus allows the running of local 3D AI models and machine learning models. So again, interesting tech, interesting concepts, and would like to see where that's going to go. I think if you can distribute your AI models, we know how big these things can be, though, so you're going to have to be very, very optimized in what you're actually distributing, what you're training. Okay, that's still more Muse. And then there's some Reach announcements where they're partnering with Meta to bring titles to instant games across Facebook and Facebook Messenger. And then I think if you're in the VR space, the other very interesting one is the Unity Vision, the Vision OS beta to integrate into Apple's Vision Pro. And I think they're, again, Unity trying to solidify and retain their position as probably the leading VR platform in the gaming industry. Anyway, that's what we've got in terms of Unite right now. I'll link the blog posts below, and I'm pretty sure I can find the keynote video, and I'll link that as well. You can go take a look at what the keynote looked like and some of the actual footage of what they're doing. Right, over to some game development, and I would probably say that I have no idea what I want to do tonight. It's been a really hectic week. I've had a lot of work to try and catch up on, especially with having been a little bit ill last week. So I'm not getting as much time as I would like to play with Unreal. I think where we left off last week, I had done audio for most of the units. I have finished most of the audio. I found some audio for a few of the other units. The one that I haven't done yet is the player. I haven't actually I did go looking for a bit and I couldn't find anything decent. So the player doesn't have any audio just yet. it gosh, that's no, it doesn't matter. I am sorry, I'm being multitasked here. Okay. Yeah. So where were we? All right. So audio. I've added audio for all the units, including the final boss, except for the player. I keep on wanting to try and find audio that is similar to the audio of the gnomes in World of Warcraft. That's kind of what I'm looking for, something a little bit silly and a little bit light-hearted. And I haven't really found anything good yet, so I'm going to keep on scratching around and looking for that. And if I do find something, I will. I'll be sure to add it in and add it to the game. I think what we're going to try and do is firstly, I think let's just take a quick look at where we are, and then what maybe makes sense is to try and do some of the UI work that I've been putting off, because I don't really like doing UI work. Alright, so let's go see. This is here. Let me switch over to there. Alright, there we go. So that's Unreal, isn't it? Just Unreal. And no, that's not what I wanted to do. What does that do? Open asset. Okay, so there's a new keyboard shortcut, Control P. I actually wanted to add a keyboard overlay into my OBS, and I haven't quite gotten there yet. I think the add-on or the plugin is enabled, but I haven't actually configured it yet. What I want to try and do is just sort of let you see what things I click. Oh, okay. There we go. There's a summoning sound. You can just hear that. Those guys are dying. And all my skeletons get that zombie sound is the funniest shit. Nope. Oh, there you go. You can hear that if you try and cast too soon, you get a little denial sound. Alright, so I'm going to try and speed this up. Nope. Zombies just died. Alright. Nope. Nope. Yeah, and I'm out of mana as well. So maybe I should try and have different sounds for when you're out of mana. Oh, there we go. Nope. Still out of mana. Nope. 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 Come on. Oh, hell. There we go. Those guys will die now. There we go. Alright, let's get some ghouls up. Yep. Ghoul sounds are pretty good. Now they're going to start getting really messy. Ooh, let me get hit.
Nope. Nope.
There these guys are. There we go. Let's pull more of these guys. I also made some of them higher level, so ironically that makes it even more likely that you'll level up faster. But there we go. Right, so now we're going to get these guys going. Here's our wraith summoning sound.
Nope. Nope.
Now it's a bit of chaos there. You should die pretty soon. There we go. Alright, so that's what it looks and sounds like now. And I'm quite happy with the audio. The only one that I'm not massively excited about is the sort of last boss character. I think the audio is not quite there. It's a little soft, really. That's I think what I'm experiencing. Anyway, there we go. That's what we have. I'm going to select anything because otherwise we may have issues with it. No, let's just don't do that. Alright, so that's what the game looks like now. As you can see, its progress is slow at the moment. I haven't spent a lot of time on it in my off time or during the week, but I did manage to put in those audio pieces. So if we want to do some new stuff, I'm wondering what kind of UI elements we need. So we definitely need, at the very least, I mean, we can certainly start the game without a UI. For me, it's useful to have that at some point. I think there's two elements of UI that is fairly essential. One is for the cooldown to kind of show up, and what I was thinking there is to have just a transparency or a fade or something on the HUD, the HUD textures. And I don't have any idea how to do that. I have some idea how I would have done that in Unity, but again, I'm not so sure how to do that in Unreal. And I think the other piece of UI that we probably need is you have died, restart. So I think we can keep it fairly simple for now. Just do that, and then we can see whether we can actually make that work and what that actually will look like. So I'm just going to minimize some of these. I thought I had a UI. I do have a UI element. Okay, there we go. That's what my UI looks like. There's my HUD. There's some health bars. Alright, let's see if we go and try and create a widget. I'm pretty sure. Here's my cursor. There's a blueprint widget for the health bar. Yep, so I suspect we can just make it a user widget. So just go select user widget. Let's call it that for now. Naming doesn't have to be too exciting, right? Oh yeah, okay. Last time I had a BSD, so let's hope we don't have any blue screens of death today. Okay, and what we basically need is a canvas of some kind, I guess. Let's put a button on here. Massive button. And a text, just a standard text. Let's put a text block on there. Okay. It's going to add it to the button, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to add it to the button. Okay, that's not what we want. So what we want to try and track down is the canvas firstly. Yeah, panel. All right, so let's get our canvas panel on here. Right, it does not want to do that, so I'm just going to delete. I'm just going to delete the button and let's start again. Okay, let's put our canvas panel in here. Nope. There we go. Alright, so now we have a canvas. Not going to worry about size on it just yet. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to put a text and button. Alright, so there's our text and our button. And get a little closer on that. Okay, we probably need some kind of let's put a stack panel in there, stack box, and put our text inside of the stack box, and our button also inside of the stack box. Okay, that still isn't doing what I'm expecting it to do. Put it on a red box. Okay. Oh, I see. The button is there. Okay, we actually want a vertical box. So let's do a vertical box. No, the vertical box must be in the canvas. Put the button in there. We're going to put our text box before the button. Nope. Alright, and delete the stack box. Okay. Let's see if we do that. It size the content, so we need to make the text boxes bigger. Let's make the text box bigger and let's see if we can get in there and do some stuff. Content. Okay. And appearance. What is the skin? Echo. There we go. We want the this to be center, but it's not centering. Why is it not centering? Okay. There's another thing that you can do here. I just need to try and figure that out. What can we do? Yeah, okay. Let's try and do that. And pianos style. Okay. I have a sneaky suspicion I know what the next issue is going to be, but let's just get there one step at a time. Font. Right, let's make it bigger. And I'm not going to put any font materials on it just yet, or any of that stuff. There we go. No, that's alright, I'm just going to do that, that's fine. Okay. Click the button. Alright, and then I have a sneaky suspicion that with the button, if you want the button to say something, you need to put a text box on it. And then you can say restart, for argument's sake. It sucks, but it's very ugly. But it's just for us to be able to test out some of these pieces, and we could probably figure out how to make this a little bit less messy and less ugly, and put a bit of a border around it and all the rest of those good things. Once we have, okay, that's everything the same. Once we know what we're actually doing, right? We've got no bloody idea what we're doing. Okay, come on, go. So I'm just going to move that over to my other screen, and we're going to load framework. Okay, let's start with the player. I can't remember where my player dying stuff was, so let's go take a look. What happens in here? Okay, that sets our mouse cursor. Alright, so then it says get the game mode and call on player died. Okay. That must be an event. There's restart player. Okay, so I think it's only game mode. So let's just go take a look at the game mode. Here's the game mode. Okay, let's take a look at the game mode. Go to buy an event, get controller. Okay, now we're in the deep dark places. That must be an internal. It must be internal to Unreal. Let's see if my Visual Studio starts up. Oh, well, that is starting up. Oh, there we go. I've upgraded to the latest version of Visual Studio, and I'm doing some work with .NET 8. I do like primary constructors. That's probably the one thing that I have used in .NET 8 that is a new feature, and that's a pretty nice feature. If anyone is interested in primary constructors and other .NET features, .NET 8 features, then let me know, and I'll try and have a bit of a chat about .NET stuff or something different. Alright, so that is an Unreal internal thing. So the event dispatcher, there one player died, that doesn't do anything. The player died event fires there, and it is called by the player having died here, right? So it goes event destroyed, it gets the game mode, and it calls that event on the game mode, which then calls restart player. And I remember going through this process. This restart player is on the controller, so let's go take a look at the controller. Let's see if there's something in here. Get instance. It's like this. Well, no, it's not actually. It's definitely not coming in here. It goes and creates a new instance with the current controller. So it seems like it just kind of comes in here. Does this? I just want to bring this down a little bit just so I can see. Okay. Okay, so that says call restart player if you are not alive anymore. And that then hits the restart player. So that brings us here. That does the destroy on the player. Okay. And then it says game mode. So what we want to do probably is, let's go here, and that wasn't what I wanted to do. Yeah, okay, thank goodness that didn't go wonky on me. So let's see, there must be a widget. Widgets. Okay, yes, before we do that, let's go take a look at other pieces of code that creates widgets. So let's try. Does the HUD get created in the game mode? That doesn't do anything there, so that's okay. That does not create the HUD, and I don't think this creates the HUD either. This just sets up the input, so it's not there. Where does the HUD get created? That's the problem when you only work on these things every other. That one just does the mouse cursor. Oh, the HUD gets set up when you. That's done. The HUD gets set up when you in your game mode. It's actually setting in the game mode. So let's go see maybe that we definitely create widgets in here. Relative. So there's setting of the health bar issue. I really need to tidy up some of these things. Also not. Interesting. Isn't that interesting? In the text, is that in character bits? Let's go take a look. Play. That makes a string, which just creates that string, which is what I want. There it is, play effect text. Alright, so that is multi-screen, create widget. Okay, so let's try that. Let's go. Was that in here? Why do I feel like it should be in? No, this stuff is all. Oh, right, okay, alright. Okay, so let's go. Create widget. That seems like a reasonable thing to want to create. Let's see. Display and no, apparently not. Ah, okay, so how do I get the git trainer? Okay, let's try that again. Okay, let's see what happens. I feel like there's maybe stuff missing there. And let's see what happens. Oh gosh, sorry. I am currently on the. Okay, it's now on the screen, but alright, let's just make that a bit bigger. How's that? Let's go and get killed. That didn't happen, did it? Yeah, still not. One shot. Okay, so that's not working. So now, interestingly, we can put a breakpoint here. What does it destroy acting? Okay, this could be the problem, right? Because I think there's a thing that says, I think it does something on the destruction, doesn't it? Alright, well, let's put a breakpoint here. There we go. Let's see what happens when we play. Alright, let's go get killed. Okay, so we're here. Oh, right. Okay, so it keeps the old controller. And then it does the restart. Yeah, it does the restart of the player. So it actually restarts the controller, which means that this gets kind of killed almost immediately. So, oh, that's just a standard controller. The controller for this actor. Let's just sort of unpack that a little bit. I'm not saying immediately that there's any reason for that to think that that's a top down. That's not good. Okay, that's not good. But it does, I do think that this is what's then happening. It's going and it's creating it. But it's, yes, actually there's extra stuff that you need to do if I remember correctly. Let me just go take a look at this properly because I'm being a dumbass right now. Alright, so you create it and then you need to add it to the viewport. Of course, you need to add it to the viewport. Okay, so once we have died, we go add to viewport. Okay, now this all should not actually be happening, so we need okay, for the time being, let's just leave this off. Let's just break the sync, and then let's see what happens when we play. Oh, come on. Ish. And we're dead. Okay, now we're here. And let's just continue playing. Alright, so yeah, alright, so now we have our UI popping up. And Okay. This is our player necromancer, construction script. I just want to check if there's a... No. Ah, okay. So when it is destroyed, we so that this actually happens. Yes. So that happens when when destroy actor is called. So in other words, what we actually need to do now is let's go in here and let's take this piece, not the both of them, this piece, and make that link, and then put you there, and move you there, over here. This must now not be in this function anymore, but I'm just going to move it out of the way so that we've still got it for now, still want it. Okay, so this gets called when on death, right? So this gets called on death. So it's not this piece. It must be in the layer. So this piece. Not this piece. This piece. It's probably in here, right? So we say calculating that this is calculating damage. Okay, so this calculates the damage. That is not what we're interested in. What gets done in here. Looking at going off the health bar. Let's do the attack action. Right, so if it's still alive, blah 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 blah. Calculate attack and damage. Add the effect text. Add this sound, which is current health. Hit animation. If the target is a player, okay, so there we say the player is dead. Okay, so if it's a player, we're just printing a string, we're not doing anything else. So how do we know that the player died? Take a look, set the health bar, da 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 da. Aha, aha, and that's the string actor, but that's not what we want. Oh, that happens in here. That's a bit of a daft thing to do, so... And if you're not alive, then do that. That's in the player. And then it calls this piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new function. And we're going to say show death live now. It's okay. And we're going to go in for start player. And we want these 3 pieces. So we'll cut that out there. And we go here. Here. Okay. Just line those up with that. Okay, alright, okay, so now we show the death UI, and that thing is on the screen. So that we are going to do in here. Alright, so instead of calling restart player, we're going to go so show death UI. Okay. We're going to just fix this up a little bit because I broke it, so let's just fix this up. Okay, fixing this up. Okay. Alright, now we're going to go back to our widget. We need to figure out how do we add an event to the button, right? I actually don't have any idea. What would you say? How would we add an event to a button? It feels like a thing that should be fairly obvious, right? And yeah, of course you can do some animations as well. I have seen how to do that. I'll take another look at that. Okay, let us do something very simple, which is to say that we are going to ask Google, right? Doesn't that make a lot of sense? Let's go and pardon millions of tabs I have open. Okay, there's my Unite Keynote. Let's go see. Annual Engine. Okay. Feels like a reasonable request. I feel like I'm being dumb here. So, oopsie, I feel like I am missing something very obvious, like there should be just an event here. Is it behavior? Is it label? Advanced behaviors? Tooltip widget cursor as default. Not worried about that. Transforms, not worried about performance. So, see, this is saying all you need to do is assign to the function on top of its own click. It feels like I'm missing one piece of this puzzle here, generally speaking. Yeah, so if you're new to Unity and dumb like me, then don't feel dumb. Seems to be not Unity, Unreal, right? Come on, think. I feel like it should be there. Oh, of course, there's the graph, right? Ha ha. Ha ha. Okay, now, no, I don't know if I need to do that. Do I need to do that? I'm just gonna try this. I'm seeing just reading it. Okay. Construct dispatches on click inputs. Default value. That's interesting. Okay, and then in here, now show that UI. This thing. Let's that's still not right. I need to go as well. Okay. And you. Let's see. Start. that doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. I'm always struggling to create a custom event. No, that's also not it. I like this. And like I'm just missing a simple trick here. There must be something that I'm fundamentally just missing. It should be very simple. So let's go see. No, this is going to create a new graph, which is not what I want. So I can delete that. Delete that. Oopsie. No. Delete that. Let's go on to the graph. Let's see. Oh, where's the one event? Okay. So here, let me see. Right. I think I know what I'm doing here. Where's the graph? Add a custom event, and that is start clicked, and then add is going to say start playing, right? And then here, it's not that. Come on. Does that make sense? I don't mind admitting that I'm feeling rather dumb here because I feel like this doesn't make sense here. This doesn't make sense here because it should expose some kind of event to us, right? What did it create there? It did create a dev UI reference, so it must be exposing some of its events, surely. Event dispatchers. Aha. Okay. I'm arguing that nope. What is wrong? What is wrong? Why did you fail to compile? Where is the compiler error? Come on, check compiler error. Okay. I vaguely recall this. Another parent reset cursor, stop information, Where did it create this now? No, it created it here, which is not what I wanted. It's also not what I want. Maybe it is. That caused this event dispatcher. Oh wait, something isn't right here. Why really? Return value should not be empty. Okay. Return value empty. Why are you not showing me what the return value is supposed to be? Event reply structure. Okay. That's not going to do anything with it. But it's also not firing this event now. So in here, okay, this thing. Okay, so an event dispatcher here, which is not what I want. I don't think this is what I want. Yeah, I don't think this is what I want. No. Okay, so so walk this back. Let's go back to this. Okay. Back to the designer. Let's just take a step back. Okay. Button. Graph. That doesn't make any sense. Why does the button not just have a click event exposed? It feels very not like everything else. It really doesn't feel logical, and the button doesn't just have a click event exposed. That seems like something that should be quite obvious. Transfer denomination, that's his binding. It's total, so we need that, random transformations, navigation, we need that. That feels like I'm obviously being done. Like, really, I feel obviously done. Okay, so let's see. So all of these show that, which doesn't make sense. Really. To the function. That's that picture, which is on clicked button 37. That isn't what I'm seeing, right? Am I missing something? I feel like I'm either missing something or I'm really feeling very dumb right now. Interaction. Oh, there's a click method down and up. Okay, down and up. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now we have to open the source file. I'm feeling a tad daft here, because it seems like there should really be a see if I go to this graph, it's not the event graph of the button, it's the event graph of the UI. And so that's not actually what we want, right? So that I don't think is doing anything for us. I don't feel like that is doing anything for us. So our button must have something that I'm missing. We've got the animations here, but we don't have an event graph. You can add animations, which is not what I want to do right now. And the only thing you have is this, which is down and up or only up or yeah. So that explains that. So that piece is actually understanding. So then why am I not able to add an event to this? Huh. And that is binding, it's not letting me do anything with that. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that I may be missing. Okay, so this chap is having the same issue that I'm having, and it's much more recent. I think I have the answer. Okay, so now we make it a variable. Go to the graph. Oh, no worries. Okay, so what do I want it to do? From here, do I need an event dispatcher? Cool, and clicked. Okay. And here, let's see. By an event. And this is in my custom event. Okay, so now I feel like this now should be allowing me to play and tick and dislike and start clicked. Right? So why are you doing go and find that yet. We're one step closer. Oh, I don't know. What does that do? That doesn't help at all. I'm genuinely feeling very doff right now. It's gotta be a way, it's gotta be something really stupid that I'm missing. I'm sure I don't want to do that, so how do I mustn't mind? Yeah, because I want to bind something, but now why won't it let me bind it to my custom event that I created previously? Oh. Yeah. Okay, so that's how we get our event to show up in our UI, right? So there's our event, and then we want to call our event dispatcher, which, I mean, I would assume okay. Okay, let's see, maybe it's got something, maybe something as stupid as that to compile the blueprint. This event dispatcher pane is not connected, find event. Okay. No, it's not that. And this is fucking weird. Magic! Ah, of course. Okay, well, that's problematic.
Nope, 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 nope.
Huh. Okay. So... Alright, so it is actually calling it. Now... I wonder... This is on the viewport. Okay, it's on the viewport, blah blah blah. Let's see. Oh, cooldown. Oh, spell cooldown. C-O-O-L-D-O-N. Okay. We don't need that no more. Remove that. Yeah, I think what we need here is we need a I'm not sure that this is a I don't know that this is a good way to do it, but let's just for the time being do that and then call start player. Let's say destroy. That doesn't destroy a widget. Viewport. No, that's also not good. Viewport. Okay, let's go see what can we do with you. Remove an item, widget, inventory player, remove from parent. Okay. Here. Okay. Okay. Alright, that's a bit over the top, so let's just break all pinnings so that it can be a bit more readable. Do that and that. Okay.
Nope.
And remove it.
Nope.
Okay, so why doesn't it remove it? No, it still doesn't remove it, which it should be doing, right? Okay, set the date you are there. And add it to the viewport. So that piece works. And then come in here. Let's remove it first. Let's just see if it's an order of operations thing, because that sometimes, I guess, could be a factor. Come on, let's move the two together. Let's do that right at the start. Well, it wouldn't, because the rest of the UI doesn't get mangled. So, but anyway, let's just test that it isn't something as boring as that. We do that, and then we do that, and then we go make some space here. Review. So it's a little bit more readable. Okay, let's see if that actually deals with it. Nope. Oh gosh, I have to get off and prep for my next call. Fun times. Yep, there he goes down. Okay, so we should now obviously also pause the gameplay. Still doesn't remove the UI. Whoops. Alright, anyway. Okay, I'm going to go figure out the last pieces of this puzzle. It was certainly quite painful to try and get that event added, but I guess if anybody is watching this, you will see that that is kind of how this game goes. Some nights it goes well, and some nights it goes really frustratingly, and that is the nature of all development, really. And when you don't know what the hell you're doing, and you're making it up as you go along. If you stuck with me through all of this chaos and insanity, or if you're watching this later, I appreciate it, and I will see you soon for the next one. Thank you very much. Have a good night.